stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Morning. All right. That's done sharing. What am I doing? Okay. All right. Sorry, something popped up. Easily swayed today. Trying to figure out whether I have a good attitude or a bad attitude. I'm going to go with good attitude, but yeah, I'm just a little irritated by some things today. That's all right. I'll get through it. I'll explain it when there's probably more people here. So, I shared in Dragonfire. I'm sure I did. We were about to find out, though. It may take me another second here. Yes, I did. Okay. Just want to make sure I had it in the right place. Okay. All right. We are ready. What was I going to say on all this? Let's do something here. Let's say. Yeah, it turned out that, I told it to look something for me, and it did something else. It says AA Big Book World Reclaimers instead of Worldly Clamors. But this gave me closer to it than did the actual asking. This book doesn't belong up there. And this stuff doesn't. This stuff belongs in the middle. That goes there. I need my big book. Maybe a little bit. I feel like lately I've been getting less and less people. I think people are probably getting worn out on me. I never know. I don't know. I think I'm feeling a bit lonely. I like it though. Every now and again, somebody will post something and put my name on it. It just happened, and that's God reminding me that that maybe I am doing things the right way. I don't know. It's so easy to get caught up in other bullshit, though, isn't it? It is. All right. Well, this won't be very long unless people show up. So, and that's not an ultimatum. It's just how it goes. I don't have my own energy, so I'm gonna have to steal it. Welcome, Daily Trudge. I was gonna go get my haircut today. Now I can't. Shit. All right. Welcome to Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I'm gonna be your host. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. I can't go get my hair cut because my license has been suspended. So, due to no fault of my own. That's what's pissing me off today. I'll just give you the quick story. They called me, said my license was suspended last week, and that had been suspended since August. And I said, no, it has not. Turned out I was correct. So they reinstated my license. Right. But now I have to retake everything. the eye test and stuff. And so now I had to make an appointment, so now I don't have my license. Yeah, I followed their rules, and what ticks me off is they did something wrong and there was no recourse for it. There was no they did something wrong. I did everything right, but I'm still paying a consequence for somebody else's mistake. And I think that's bullshit. I want to get a lawyer. I want to get a lawyer and sue the motherfuckers. They've done so much to me. And it's giving me anxiety and it's giving me PTSD, and it sucks. You know, this is bullshit. You know, the world of the land of the free. I'm not even allowed to leave the country. Okay. That is a prison in and of itself. All right. Just a worldly clamor, right? I'm bringing this up because I'm seeing a lot of people post about things that really, do we need to? I mean, what is our purpose? What are we trying to do? You know, what are we trying to prove? Now we can bitch and complain and these other things, but what are we going to do about it? You know? All right. So this was on page 14. I'm going to just start at the top, and we're in Bill's story. Simple but not easy. A price had to be paid. It meant the destruction of self-centeredness. I must turn in all things to the Father of light who presides over us all. These were revolutionary and drastic proposals, but the moment I fully accepted them, the effect was electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie. There was a sense of victory followed by such a peace and serenity as I had never known. There was utter confidence. I felt lifted up as though the great clean wind of a mountaintop blew through and through. God comes to most men gradually, but his impact on me was sudden and profound. For a moment, I was alarmed and called my friend, the doctor, to ask if I were still sane. He listened in wonder as I talked. I like this part. Finally shook his head, saying, "Something has happened to you I don't understand. But you had better hang on to it. Anything is better than the way you were." The good doctor now sees many men who have had such experiences. He knows they are real. What a neat thing for Dr. Silkworth to experience. And for him to say, "You know, Bill, now I think you're on the right track. You're still sober, and that's certainly better than the way it was." And what was he doing? Well, he's striking up progress for Bill there. It's encouragement. While I lay in the hospital, the thought came that there were thousands of hopeless alcoholics who might be glad to have what I have been so freely given to me. Perhaps I could help some of them. They, in turn, might work with others. There's the key. You know, nowhere in here did it list what I was looking for. My friend had emphasized the absolute necessity of demonstrating these principles in all my affairs. Particularly, was it imperative to work with others as he had worked with me. Faith without works is dead, he said, and how appallingly true for the alcoholic. If an alcoholic failed to perfect and enlarge his spiritual life through work and self-sacrifice for others, he could not survive certain trials and low spots. If he did not work, he would surely drink again. If he drank, he would surely die. Then faith would be dead indeed. Morning, Amber. It's good to see you. Now, I thought that's where worldly clamors were. Mostly within myself. Page 13. That's why. Oh, we read ahead. All right. Oh, yeah, right at the tip. The real significance of my experience in the cathedral burst upon me. All right. What was his experience? Well, he saw a doggerel when he went to war. Here lies a Here lies a Hampshire grenadier who caught his death, drinking cold small beer. A good soldier's near forgot whether he dieth by the musket or the pot. For a brief moment I had needed and wanted God. There had been a humble willingness to have him with me, and he came. But soon his presence had been blotted out by worldly clamors, mostly those within myself, and so it has ever been how blind I have been. All right. It's those worldly clamors that start to block. I know this happens to me, that start to block the sunlight of the spirit. I'll give you a good example. Homelessness. Yeah, you bet. It's a worldly clamor for me, in a sense. Because sure I would like to see the homeless problem be taken care of, or whatever. There's some people that want to live on the streets. Leave them alone. But I can't get so caught up. Here's the thing: I can help people that are homeless, but I cannot solve the homeless problem. That is not within my power. I can educate and educate and educate, but what I'll be doing is spinning my wheels. Right? There's got to be action put in. If we're going to bitch about something, then we best have a plan of action. Right? Earlier I was bitching about my driver's license, but there's a plan of action. January 8th is I took care of it. See, we can't just let things lie. Okay. When we do that, it's going to clog up those world arteries, and you're not going to be able to see the forest for the trees. When we get caught, I've noticed when people get caught up in worldly clamors, AA doesn't seem to be a priority anymore. I've noticed it a lot in the last month. That worldly clamors are things happening in our lives, taking us away from AA. Really, if our recovery doesn't and our sobriety doesn't come first, everything else is off the table in my book. It's what my book says. This consistency of doing things. And it's not always fucking easy to do. It's not. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. Because everybody's looking for the easier, softer way, are we not? So I understand that there's things going on, and it's a variety of things. And I'm sure a lot of it has to do with, the holidays, things like, I know that's partly why I'm a little wily than usual. It isn't so much that I'm going through stuff with it as much as it is I can feel other people going through things. There is something, it's crossing my mind. So I'm going to take some time to talk about it, because it just kind of came up with when I was talking with Amber about my driver's license, because I needed to bitch at someone, because I was getting ready to call my caseworker and give her fucking what for and ruin her fucking Christmas, just like mine was ruined, but mine's not ruined. And what it is my brain thinks that there's something happening right now, and it's not. It's not happening. See, when you've been abused by the system your whole fucking life, I've been abused by the system since I was 14 years old. Okay? 40 fucking years now. I've had to tolerate bullshit on the government telling me how I have to live my fucking life. Okay? And I'm a rebellious dog when it comes to this. I'll follow the laws of the land, but when you don't and there's no consequence, I get riled up. And then what happens is then I'm back in jail. The feeling that I'm back in jail. And it happened for a moment this morning, and it disrupted me. Right? These aren't resentments. Okay? This isn't a resentment, because a lot of times I talk to people, I used to talk to people about certain things, and I don't really do it as much here, because they're like, well, you have resentments. I'm like, it's not if it was a resentment, I wouldn't be feeling this way anymore. I actually deal pretty good with my resentments. I'm pretty good at that. I'll 10th step anything. If it needs to be done, I'll do it, man. But that's not what's going on. Okay? PTSD is the most intrusive fucking thing. The thought process in it is the most intrusive thing that I have ever experienced in my life. Yeah. See, at this point, I'm almost just tired of being different from everybody. It drives me crazy. And I notice, you know, even with my family, I notice they like each other's stuff and things like that, but none of them reply to any of mine. It's like, I know that you're not following me because there are certain things that I would have said, you know, and that just makes me feel like shit. You know, a lot of times I don't get invited to stuff because people assume I don't want to go. I'm probably going to say no, but gosh, it's always nice to kind of be invited and thought of. And now people aren't doing that. This is what happens with PTSD. Okay. What happens is my mind will narrow down on what to be angry at, and it'll focus on that. It will. You know, at the moment, I want to rip my ex-wife a fucking new one for several things that have been done. You know, like moving my child out of state without my permission. She could have gone in jail for that, but I did not report it. Because then who would take care of the daughter? You know, there are other people that I've let off with child support. My wife's ex-husband. It wasn't much per month, but he couldn't pay it. So she's like, what should we do with this? And I was still drinking at the time too. I said, just tell me he paid it. Just tell him he paid it directly to you. Yeah. He didn't. He did every now and again, but because I knew what they would do to him. Okay. And he is diagnosed with things a lot more severe than me. Okay. And it would have killed him. It would have killed him. And I'm like, no, there is no point in torturing a man like that. No. All right, they'll put his ass in jail. They'll take his driver's license. I'm not even allowed to leave the country, you know. So, you know, this affected me enough to where I didn't do the 11th step to start out with. So, I need to change views here. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out the daily reflection. Except I'm going to use Hazelton so that we don't talk about the 12th step. 23 days of the 12th step. All right. December 23rd. 2 days till Christmas. Yay. So, you know, I have my granddaughter is here with me today, my oldest granddaughter. And thinking about asking her if she wants to go live with me. Why not? I interview her. She has some things that somebody at her age shouldn't have to deal with. And she's pretty open about it. And I'm thinking, well, you know, maybe there's other kids out there. I don't know. You know, I don't have a license, so I got to do something. I can't even go get McDonald's right now. I'm like, and I was going to go do it anyway, out of spite. I'm like, Dion, your granddaughter's here. What if something happens? I'm like, I can't fucking do that. Or maybe God is trying to tell me something. Okay. See, that runs through my mind also. So, but I'm not going to be able to see the forest for the trees until I settle my own matters here. Yeah, which is my anger, right? The PTSD, you know. So I've been doing grounding things, grounding techniques, breathing, touching what's real. All right. December 23rd. How can I tell if I've had a spiritual awakening? It's just going to feel different. Always going to feel different. You'll know. Let's see. Let's see how they try and explain it here, because they'll probably do a much better job than I would right now. So, for many of us in the program, a spiritual awakening masks itself in a simple thank you. Simple. Dion needs simple right now, rather than complicated evidence. Evidence is emotional maturity. Emotional maturity for me was understanding that there's other people in this world that are suffering also, Dion, and that if you decide to go make yourself a better person, that maybe, just maybe, you'll be able to help them. Seems like a much better way. To end an end to constant and soul churning resentments. Yeah. See, even right now with my PTSD coming up, this is progress. Oh, this is progress. I didn't get angry. Yeah, I had to call the DMV 3 times because I didn't quite understand. And I was very nice to them. You gotta be. It helps with my attitude. Okay. And they'll just hang up on you. There's even a message before it that said, I'm the whoever there was some title, but they were top dog. And she's like, we will be kind. She pretty much said, we will be kind to you, and you best be kind to us, or we ain't gonna help you. She said it much better than that. But the fact that we even have to say that, I'm glad I'm not that person anymore. If I was still drinking this, there's no way I'd have my license at all if I was still drinking. Yeah. Anytime I drink, God cuts my license off and takes my card. Always. He always did. All right. An end to the constant soul churning resentments, the ability to love and be loved in return. The belief, even without understanding, that something lets the sun rise and set, brings forth and ends life, and gives joy to human hearts. Am I now able to do, feel, and believe that which I could not previously do through my own unaided strength and resources alone? That kind of gives you an idea. Another great way to determine if you're making spiritual progress is to take the third step promises and change the pronoun to me and I. And what happens is it becomes a statement. And you're kind of asking yourself questions, and you'll know in your gut whether or not you're actually doing these things. Well, if your gut says yes, then you're making progress, my friend. Then you're making progress. I gotta check this. And my new sponsee is checking in every night. Went through his first weekend of no drinking. Good for him, man. Today I pray, may my spiritual confidence begin to spread over my attitudes towards others, especially during the holiday times, when anticipations and anxieties are high. As an addicted person, I have not handled holidays well, greeting those who gather at home, missing those who are not here. I pray for the serenity to cope with the holidays' brew of emotions. Today I'll remember spirit without spirits, cheer without cheer. Oh, so I have spirits, but don't drink any spirits. All right. Of course, you got to bring up the holidays. Thanks, Spirit. Yeah, I needed more trauma. Thanks, book. It can be tough, man. You gotta be responsible for your own triggers, right? So, all right. Well, I think I'm gonna end this one, and when I have a little bit, when I'm doing a little bit better here, I'll do step 11. It was right on time. It did turn into the 12 days So, all right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. That being Amber. I love you. Peace out and have a